But you were brought into the infirmary with your kind of cohort of grunts, and inside, for just a moment, you kind of have a flashback to Carnish all those months ago. Of you kind of just see it almost looks like a doctor's office, like Psycher's was in the village. You see what can loosely be considered like infirmary beds. It's but like it's more stone slabs. It kind of seems like a mix between a morgue and an infirmary. But you see this humanoid kind of looking corpse on one of them, on one of the slabs, and beside it you see this taller, beautiful looking Yanti woman, wearing wearing like these very clean white, oh, not quite scrubs, but kind of like scrubs, but almost as if they were made out of like cloth instead, or like just a different material, and just holding in one hand just a scalpel that is clearly covered in like this kind of purplish blood.
And is she like UNT pure blood, where it's like mostly looks human, but there's some like scales and other areas and like snake eyes, or like this is a snake person?
She is a Yuan-Ti pureblood for sure, but there are certain features that are very obvious. The eyes immediately give you a reminiscence of like a viper, and you see like scaling around the eyes, like it from the bits of of her that aren't covered by her clothing. You see like hints of scaling, and just like it's almost like her appearance, like her hair. It almost and just like the way she carries herself kind of has a reminiscence to the pattern of a viper. It gives you just that impression, whether it's natural or somewhat cultivated to be intimidating. It's hard to tell.
Looks like she can strike at any moment.
That's a good way to put it, particularly with the scalpel in hand.
Okay.
But yeah, you see her and she turns around, pulls down her face mask. Yes. Who is this?
I'll step forward. My name is Kay. I'm a new recruit. I'll offer her my hand to shake.
Why are you interrupting my work? There is significant research that needs researching, and I am, well, delighted to meet another follower of our creed. Quite busy and not inclined towards personal calls.
I understand. Justine sent me because I was attacked by supposed members of uh a gang. One such named Johnny Brassknuckles, and he wanted you to tell if they live up to their name. And as you might be able to tell, kind of lift the hand away from the wound to show the bloody hand and the seeping blood coming out of the stab wound. And also in somewhat rough shape.
Very well. Step to
I
the
understand
side.
it.
The rest of you leave now. I can't have my workspace contaminated any further. As you walk in, it's strange almost seeing as sterile an environment as this. And she looks like she immediately returns to whatever she was working on for just a moment. But as you look around, you just see these different slabs and these kind of bodies across the way. And similar to how Artuk said, it's like a body of a mostly humanoid figure, four fingered rather than six handed, and like webbed feet, but the head of an anglerfish almost.
Hmm.
It's off putting enough for you to take note of it, and you see her just kind of clearly performing an autopsy on it. Very well. You have. And she walks over to you, rubs, removes her gloves, and washes her hands. Very well.
If you don't mind me asking, was that poor person affected by a wizard of some sort? Was this a curse?
Perhaps, but not one that we fully understand yet. Tilt your head up to the right and tell me about when you've struck. Any additional details you can provide on the weapons. Clear signs of blunt force trauma.
The man had knuckles, from what I could tell, quite literally made of brass. And after they punched me, their friend took out a dagger, and it almost seemed to steam, as if it was either so hot or so cold. And then they stabbed me here, and I've never been stabbed before, so I'm not sure if it's supposed to feel cold, but it sent a chill just deep into my bones.
As she moves over to your arm, clear signs of magical weaponry. Cool.
As soon as
frost damage, in addition to severed. She just starts going through medical lingo, but just clearly referencing this is how the wound was approached, and just things of that nature. It's almost like she's performing an autopsy on you. It's a little unnerving.
As soon as she mentions magic, you'll kind of tense up and almost snarl for a second. What the fuck are you using magic?
It would seem so. You see her immediately walk over to a cabinet and reach into and pull out a syringe, basically, and walks over to you. This will sting. And she immediately puts it into your arm. Does not give you any time to prepare.
What? Ow!
Make a con save for me.
Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. That's a natural 1.
Immediately, what the fuck? Sorry, if we consider what Annette said of there's Ken and then there's Byron. Byron jumps up for a second, what the fuck? And immediately you feel your arm just kind of begin to numb. Sit back, otherwise you will fall and injure yourself further. And she kind of just gently pushes you back onto the slab. I've given you a paralytic. It will ease your body, and it will induce you into a state that I may work and understand your wounds better. It may be painful, and I will be applying a tranquilizer to you in just a moment. But you immediately just feel another needle get poked into you. Make another con save.
Tell me that. 21.
With a 21, you're lulled into a kind of sleep state. The pain from the initial needle and several of the wounds goes away, and you just kind of drift into a dreamless sleep.